in the movie is utterly forgettable, probably because the script called for him to just be another bumbling man who learns the error of his ways thanks to Snow White's brilliance.
There's this sort of poppy, belty loudness that every single female character gets of, I have this dream of being bigger and being a leader and dominating everything, and something's holding me down and making sure that I cannot do it, so I must sing with all my loudness and all my girl bossery to let the world know how powerful I actually am.
And I thought that that was really sad, because what Disney did was they eliminated the necessity of the man.
Welcome to Manosphere Highlights Daily. So, the Snow White remake bombed hard, and now everybody and their mother is talking about it. But why does the Manosphere need to weigh in? Simple, because Hollywood didn't just remake Snow White, they turned it into a feminist manifesto, dunked on men, and thought that would be a recipe for success. Genius move, right? But here's the twist. Women are calling it out. Yes.
La IA de Google te ayuda a encontrar a tus mejores clientes optimizando tus campañas en tiempo real. Simplemente establece tus...
All right. Salute to Google. Okay. I'm using one of their sites right now.
Even the ladies have had enough of this foolishness. So, we put together a highlight reel of women exposing the politics, the feminism, the boss babe delusions, and the complete lack of a male hero in this train wreck of a movie. You can find the links to the full videos in the description. Grab your popcorn, this one is gonna be good. Let's get this highlight reel started!
Ain't that a man?
So, right out of the gate, it's important for you all to understand that Disney didn't remake Snow White. They made two different films, mashed them together, and called it Snow White.
What they tried to do here for this new one was completely rewrite the original tale, basically. So they're adding all of these like new plot elements and like backstory.
I'm not even surprised.
Obviously, they always do that. And so there are naturally all of these added motivation.
Need I remind you that the 1937 original is 83 minutes long. It is a simple story. We all know it. It's a love story. It's good conquers evil. It's cute. It's a classic. That's it.
Rather than continue cashing in on nostalgia with its live-action remakes, it stripped away the very charm that fans loved by making excessive and often unnecessary changes, many of which felt more political than purposeful.
Because they absolutely did run in the direction of creating a new feminist utopian landscape in this 2025 Snow White.
Some of the language around this is so direct that it feels like it got pulled right out of the Communist Manifesto. This fairly blunt political messaging is awkwardly woven throughout what should have been a regular, enjoyable fairy tale about a girl and a bunch of dwarves. But instead, we're partially given a story about equity and how taxing people too much makes the background dreary.
But the script is basically Snow White in name only.
And it's weird because this film seems to reject the core themes of the original to such a degree that I just don't understand the point of it. It's like, why remake this particular tale? If you don't even like the original, it's like, how can you even begin to honor it?
And
Man, they need to stop with these remakes, man. They screwed up Saints Row, not this.
just a reminder, Disney spent $270 million on this film.
$270 million on this movie. Like I always say, these aren't just movies. The Snow White remake had a clear purpose. This is an agenda-pushing reboot, not a tribute. And why? Because they know the best way to change the future is to control what kids see today. Give me a child until he is 7, and I will show you the man. They know exactly what they are doing.
Again, it's boring to me. And I guess I just don't understand the cynicism or the problem with the original film. It's like it feels as if there's such a desperation to shield the children from gasp. The idea that Snow White as a character is meant to represent purity and femininity and youth. It's like, how dare they?
Unlike some of the other Disney princesses like Mulan or Belle, Snow White was never supposed to be some independent, freedom-fighting girl boss. Her depiction was one of innocence, purity, purity and a beauty that shines very brightly from within. Our 1937 Snow White is endeared to us because of her gentleness, generosity, and trusting nature. It also causes those around her to act protectively, which is crucial to the storyline. But those endearing traits also serve as a very obvious flaw that others seek to exploit. And although the original animation was short, it still was packed with meaning and moral. The 2025 adaptation, on the other hand,
Hold up, I had to pause it very quick. It's starting to act up a bit and chop up like a scratched up DVD.
all of this up with cannonballs and threw it into the ocean.
But can we just be honest, okay? She was a very poor casting choice. Take away the fact that they did a race swap. We're going to completely ignore that. She doesn't embody the essence of Snow White. The original Snow White is very dainty, very feminine. She has plump cheeks, giving her a very soft appearance. And Rachel Zegler is the exact opposite. And that's not a diss to Rachel Zegler, it's just true. Casting Rachel Zegler to play Snow White is the equivalent of casting Kristen Stewart to play Barbie. It's just not believable.
Yeah, she just wasn't thick enough to be Snow White. I mean, that's what I heard.
Inspiring as the writers probably hoped she would, she instead seems entitled and annoying. Very on brand for Rachel Zegler.
Weird.
Acting can only compensate for so much, no matter how talented you are. If your physical appearance is too far in contrast with the character, it just won't be believable. That is why typecasting exists. Mads Mikkelsen plays a villain 99% of the time because he looks like one, and Rachel Zegler just doesn't have the demeanor, the physical appearance, nor the charm to convincingly play Snow White. And to be honest, she kind of looks like a mean girl, and while promoting the movie, she came across as one.
Of course, Rachel Zegler went wickedly viral after talking about Snow White and really looking down upon the original 1937 version of the film, and she said this when being interviewed.
No longer 1937. She's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be saved by the prince, and she's not going to be dreaming about true love. She's dreaming about becoming the leader she knows she can be, and the leader that her late father told her that she could be if she was fearless, fair, brave, and true. The original cartoon came out in 1937, and very evidently so.
That's why you don't need to remake it. Things are different now.
There's a big focus on her love story with a guy who literally stalks her. Yeah. Weird. So we didn't do that this time. I was scared of the original cartoon. I think I watched it once and then I never picked it up again. I watched it for the first time in
Why plays the character? You could have played something else. Now look at you.
Probably 16, 17 years. The cartoon was made 85 years ago, and therefore it's extremely dated when it comes to the ideas of women being in roles of power. No longer.
Okay, so we could
freaking play Wonder Woman then. Oh, you can't.
Use a little bit of PR training, but knowing Disney, maybe that was her PR training. Maybe she was told to go out there and shit on the 1937 version before releasing this new version.
My bad, y'all. I didn't know they was cursing.
These are the cues I want you to pay attention to. If there is a $270 million budget, the last thing you want is your main actor not promoting the movie the way you want it to be promoted. Always follow the money, guys. Contracts are signed, PR teams are involved, and studios don't gamble on actors who go rogue. Unless, of course, the message she's pushing is exactly what they wanted all along. You think Disney accidentally let Rachel Zegler run her freaking mouth? Nah, this was by design.
Okay.
One of the moments that really irritated me personally early on.
Look at me thinking that, oh, she did it on her by her lonesome. You just put me on game.
Is when Snow White finds her love interest, Jonathan the Bandit, stealing potatoes from the castle. Yes, they eliminated the prince and replaced him with Jonathan, who coincidentally is the only
my bad, it just why is it scratching up?
Person in this entire movie who actually has a consistent character and can apparently act. So, you know, there's that. Do with that what you will.
And I do feel sad that over and over, particularly in these modern Disney movies, it's like, for young boys, they don't have a heroic male figure to look up to anymore the way that young girls do. The male lead in this movie, he's a klutz and he keeps getting captured and caught. And again, I don't know, this movie feels like a weird mishmash of like the original Snow White if you stripped it of everything interesting, mixed with like a second-rate Frozen.
Other performances are honestly pretty forgettable. Andrew Burnap, who plays the guy in the movie because he's not a prince, and Rachel Zegler so eloquently referred to him as the guy in the movie. So we're gonna go ahead and call him that.
I'll assume is a love story just because like we cast a guy in the movie. All of Andrew's scenes could get cut, who knows?
The character's name is actually Jonathan, but Jonathan, the guy in the movie, is utterly forgettable, probably because the script called for him to just be another bumbling man who learns the error of his ways thanks to Snow White's brilliance.
And she goes out into the woods and she meets her love interest once again. And of course, her Prince Charming, as I said, is not a prince. He's just this revolutionary. And you know how they fall in love and how they start to spark
Nah, he a thug.
up a little bit of charming chemistry. He belittles her, demeans her, and reminds her that she has a ton of privilege by singing a song to her about her princess problems. So he essentially says, you don't know what the real world is like. You've been living in a castle. You've had this cute, privileged life. I know what the real world's like as a revolutionary who's working to battle this evil queen. And Snow White's like, ooh, okay. I love that. I love when a man belittles me.
Even though they made the prince, the guy in the movie, Jonathan, the not prince, the bandit, and then they made him kind of a useless idiot who needed to get saved on no less than 3 occasions. There is still a love story there.
But
Well, they should have named it was Snow White in the Hood. Didn't have made sense.
Disney didn't make space for a future king. Like, it was so weird, guys, because she has this love interest. He actually kisses her. He saves her life. He actually saves her life twice, right? And she kind of inspires him to greatness. And then in the final scene of the movie, or one of the final scenes, she goes out alone to challenge the evil queen. She alone inspires the townspeople to kind of take back their town or their kingdom. And then where is he? He's kind of like off to the side being, you know, I guess a tough guy. And then in the very final scene, Snow White is singing as like the leader of the kingdom. And he's kind of next to her, but he's dancing with a bunch of other people. And it's like, where's your prince, Snow White? Like, where's your king? Where's your husband? And I thought that that was really sad because what Disney did was they eliminated the necessity of the man.
And they thought no folks were playing. The joke went downhill.
This is pure gold. Disney eliminated the necessity of the man. And they wonder why young men come to this space. And this is where we get into the deeper aspect of the agenda, which is to destroy the family. This is why modern Hollywood keeps pushing these strong, independent woman narratives while erasing traditional relationships. Because if men and women don't need each other, there's no family unit. And if there's no family unit, there's no structure. And guess what? A society without structure is way easier to control. Let's take it a step further.
They just eliminated it. And in the original fairy tale, there was a necessary man and a necessary woman who would form a necessary family that would then lead the kingdom into the future. And in the live action Disney remake, the man wasn't necessary. He kind of was. He was a romantic interest. He did save her life. But in the end, when it came to actually ruling the kingdom and actually taking it back from the evil queen, he was kind of the side character. And I thought that was really sad to see because the reality is Snow White can't lead that kingdom by herself. I mean, maybe she could for a few years, but she is not going to be able to have a family by herself. There's no heir apparent to the throne by herself. And a queen is meant to lead alongside a king. And the king is meant to ultimately be the lead of the kingdom with the queen, you know, closely by his side. But that king, that father that she loved, that was killed, she was kind of replacing him. But there was no family, there was no other king to step up alongside of her. And I think that was a huge missed opportunity for the film.
See what she just did?
That's ugly.
She went a little deeper than, and they lived happily ever after. Life doesn't just stop after you beat the final boss. This is where the depression and disappointments comes in. Because Feminism promised women freedom and empowerment, but left out the part where happily ever after actually requires a man, a family, and a purpose beyond a career and girl boss slogans.
That's
Now,
godly.
instead of fulfillment, you get loneliness and regret.
And this
At Mint Mobile, we're always looking for innovative ways to save you money, so you can keep paying $15 a month for
Look,
premium
Deadpool,
wireless.
I don't know what you talking about. Get out of here.
And this brings me to one of the biggest issues I have with this movie. In order to make all of the aforementioned plot additions and themes make sense, this movie needed to massacre Snow White's personality, and instead reimagine her as a girl boss, a revolutionary figure who could save her kingdom.
And Snow White, of course, she's a Mary Sue archetype who kind of slays her way through this entire movie relatively unscathed until the end of it. Again, she has no flaws. She learns very little. It's a telegraphed arc.
But I think is the ultimate message to a young girl, you're going to be a leader, or is the ultimate message to the young girl, you're going to be, you're made for love, right? To love and to be loved.
And you'll see what she sounds like. She sounds beautiful, but there's something here.
He's let it echo, 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 echo.
Wait, hold up. I'm not gonna get copyright for that, am I? Oh, not.
Your voice will carry through.
Wait, hold up. How you mute it?
But what
Oh, okay.
Snow White is supposed to sound like. Now, I'm going to play you a small clip from the 1937 version of Snow White, and you let me know what you hear, okay?
And all because I was afraid. I'm so ashamed of the fuss I've made.
Okay.
She sound like a little girl.
There you go. You hear that? It's soft. The word demure keeps coming up, but that's literally what I'm thinking of every time I think of the 1937 version of Snow White. Very soft, very feminine, very light, very airy, very wispy. And Rachel Zegler is doing this echo, echo, just like loud, belty, and that's what you get when you turn this very cutesy character into a feminist girl boss. It becomes loud and brash and belty, and while it sounds good for Rachel Zegler to do that, it does not sound like Snow White to me whatsoever. But we've abandoned what Snow White was meant to be, and I find that with a lot of these Disney remakes and live actions and a lot of the princesses that they make these days, and just Disney films in general, there's this sort of poppy, belty loudness that every single female character gets of, I have this dream of being bigger and being a leader and dominating everything, and something's holding me down and making sure that I cannot do it, so I must sing with all my loudness and all my girl bossery to let the world know how powerful I actually am.
Sure, just wait till they get the Mulan. That's gonna be terrible.
A couple of the other lines that just kind of came back again and again that I didn't like was this thing like, I'm no longer going to be, or the line exactly was, time to lead and not be led. The Snow White, time to lead and not be led. And that was like kind of like, Snow White, I'm going to be a leader, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, yes, be a leader, especially if you're up against an evil stepmother and your father's missing, and he's gone, he's been killed, you don't know where he is, and you need to stand up to injustice. Yes, be a leader in that sense. But the ultimate sense is the ultimate calling to be a leader, or is the ultimate calling to be a lover, right?
Yeah, Snow White is the girl you remember, but she's definitely made for the modern age, and there's such an emphasis on what it really means to be the fairest of them all. And for Snow White, it's coming to terms with finding herself and finding her inner voice and finding...
Nah, I thought all these Disney princesses was finding their man. Now they're finding themselves. That fit? Who raised you?
a sense of agency so that she can be a just ruler and a wonderful queen.
The problem is that the writers seemingly couldn't fully commit to this murder. So instead of an empowered feminist girl boss, we are given a Frankenstein monster of a character who spends most of the film oscillating between looking doe-eyed and jutting out her bottom jaw in an effort to look innocent, while doing things that scream exactly the opposite.
And I was so baffled by what happens when she arrives at the dwarves' cottage, because in the original Snow White, she gets there, and while she does sleep in their beds, she cleans up, she cooks, and it becomes a reciprocal thing. Hey, thanks for letting me crash here. I got dinner covered, and I'm gonna make sure the floor's clean. But in this one, Snow White literally imposes order, gives every dwarf a tool, and then sends them on their way to clean the house, and all she does is prance around and sing whistle while you work, and occasionally she'll
whistle while you work.
grab something and look like she's about to do something, but she just hands it off to someone else.
Not only am I going to stay in your house, which I trespassed into and slept in one of your beds, but you guys are gonna get up and clean this shit up.
They lead her to the dwarf's house, where she hesitantly knocks on the door and eventually enters, asking if she can come in. Our 2025 Snow White just waltzes right in, asks if anyone's home, and then goes to sleep in beds upstairs.
It completely misses the characterization and fundamentally misunderstands the point of Snow White. See, there wasn't a weakness in this act of kindness, and there's nothing shameful about a woman cleaning up. She was repaying a favor. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. To show our princess and our heroine, in this case, cleaning up wouldn't be shameful. It would show that she understands reciprocation and believes in fairness and kindness.
But the film wanted to maintain this air of innocence and purity, which makes
They tried, but they failed.
her entire personality feel extremely inconsistent and confusing.
The hypocrisy of being independent, but still making others do the work. This is pure solipsism. It's not about equality, it's about superiority. Modern feminism teaches women they can have it all without giving anything in return. And when reality doesn't match the fantasy, they blame men instead of their own contradictions. This is why men are tired of the modern woman. Because what exactly are the benefits? Feminism rejected 1937 femininity, but instead of offering something better, it brought confusion and contradiction in return. Men used to get a woman who valued being a wife, support, and grace. Now, they get a woman who says she doesn't need a man, but still expects one to pay the bills, protect her, and do the heavy lifting whenever it's convenient. She wants traditional benefits without traditional responsibilities. That's not progress. That's a scam. So why would a man sign up for a deal where he gets more demands but fewer rewards? This is why modern dating is broken.
Really made me sad, honestly, in the end. And I thought, okay, well, they were so close. You know, they were almost there. But, you know, is it woke ideology? Is it modern feminism? Is it just postmodern, radical, self-independence, autonomy, I don't need other people thing going on? You could blame different ideologies for what happened at the end of Snow White. And I do think modern feminism, one of their big mistakes is that for women, it's all about autonomy and our own self-actualization, completely untethered from relationship. When women are designed to be in relationship, certainly with men, I mean, they are our counterpart. They are who we need to, if we're gonna marry, they are our husband, potentially, right? And then also from children, you know, the ability to mother is obviously seen by modern feminism as this thing that is kind of a shackle. It kind of is this burden, right? And so you need to be equal to men, which is why you need abortion, so that if you get pregnant, you don't have to have the baby, right? That's the whole modern feminist ideology.
Least. But hey, that just seems to be the way the cookie crumbles. Maybe Disney will wake up, stop trying to influence people with politics in their films, and we'll focus on just making a good film with a good storyline, even if it means the young female protagonist is not a girl boss and is actually feminine and strong. Maybe we could have done that. Maybe we could have looked at the 1937 version of Snow White and thought to ourselves, why was it so successful? And how do we build on that success and make something even better than what we had in 1937? Instead, Disney said no. The 1937 version of this film was successful for the wrong reasons. It's built on old school stereotypes and traditional thinking and gender roles, and we must burn that to the ground and build upon it a utopian communist society where everybody shares their apples and cherries and potatoes.
Shoot, I gotta eat.
Manosphere, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.
That's groovy. What's that? Alright. That was the whole video. You know what I'm saying? Trying out this new method. Let's talk more listening. It's not what I always do. Hey, what's that though? I might want to tune into that one. That's if this one do well. I don't know how this one gonna do. Man, oh man. Salute to this channel. You know, my first time finding it. You know, you see what it say. Highlights daily. This word here, I don't know if I can say it, because other words similar to it that started with an M as well. If you said it in the past, shoot, they reduced it to the stuff that's beneath the grass, which is that dirt. A lot of cats had a YouTube name in the past, and man, they're not here no more. They on other websites now. I'm not saying that word there, but like another word that began with an M. Yeah. That was a pretty good video, man. He did good. He did really good. I can only hope to be as skilled as him one day. I'll work on it. I'll try. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Give that a thumbs up. Let me look that up, man. How much money did they lose? I'm being a little nosy now. Hold up. Let me see. How much money did... Yeah. How much money did they make, first of all? Let's see that. Nah. This, man, give me a quick answer, man. How much, baby? How much? No, not the original. 2025, man. 2025. I wasn't specific enough. Hold up. 2025. How much did that make, man? As of March 31st, 2025, Snow White has grossed 68. What? 68 million? What? In the US and in Canada. Oh, shoot. Oh, man. Okay, let's continue it. And 75.8 million in other territories for a worldwide total of $144.1 million. The Hollywood Reporter surmised that the film would need to grow $500 million to reach its box office safety net. So, man, they are off by hundreds of millions. Damn. When the last time something did this terrible? I'm trying to see. It was something else in the past. I'm trying to remember right now. There was another film. It flopped just like this. Damn, what was it? It was years ago. Y'all could probably tell me what it is. Oh, man. This is bad, man. Ooh, I wish the dislikes was on still on YouTube. They took it down. They took down the dislikes. I know somewhere you can find the dislikes. Wait. Maybe I can look that up. Hold up. Dislikes on Snow. I know somebody has it, bro. Somebody knows how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Snow White 2020 trailer. Yeah. Hold up. Type it in one hand. Hold up. I don't want to see a whole video about it, man. I don't want this video to be too long. Yeah, how many dislikes did they get? Y'all know? Dislikes. How many dislikes? Wait! It's officially the most hated movie trailer. Y'all lying, man. It didn't do that. It did that bad. Nah, man. I don't believe y'all, man. What's number one? In 2020 of August, the Indian film Sadak 2's trailer became the most disliked movie trailer on YouTube. In the first 2 days after its release, the trailer received 5.3 million. The first 2 days, 5.3 million dislikes, and currently has over 12 million. Damn. But I know something got more than that before. I know I'm not tripping. It's like another movie, man. Like, you know that guy that played on that movie, what is it called? No, he played on that show called Teen Wolf. He played as Styles. He played as Spider-Man, and that, oh man, the dislikes. Wasn't that the movie? I think he played in Spider-Man. It has so many dislikes. I'm like, man, y'all should have did that to that other guy. But let me stop. That ain't nice. My man was in the bathroom, man. The other guy, not the guy from Teen Wolf, but the other guy named Tom was in the bathroom, man. I know they say, why are you bringing that up? You need to stop bringing that up. Nah. That's stuck in our heads now, yo. I mean, most of the time we don't think about it, so it's not really stuck in our heads. But man, the dude did that scene in that bathroom. I could never think of that man the same. I just couldn't.
Nuts.com is a snacking utopia with supplier relationships from all over the world. I actually don't speak a lot of other languages, but Gemini and Google Meet, it translates everything.
Translate
you know,
that
I have
thing.
to admit that I didn't.
Play it back, baby. Play it back. Wait. I moved too fast. What? Did I miss something? Oh no, I thought I saw something. Okay, 40,000. It didn't even get 1 million dislikes. This is a huge movie, huge production company. Probably multiple production companies behind this. It didn't even get 1 million. Oh shoot, it got 1 million dislikes. Oh shoot. Oh man. What the freak?
Congratulations! Great job, everybody. It's great to meet you.
You know,
I think the other video that got a bunch of dislikes was Sonic. It was Sonic, right? The live action movie of Sonic. I think it was that, but I'm not sure. I forgot.
I have to admit that I didn't think it was possible. The skeptic in me said it could never be done, and yet somehow Snow White always finds a way to subvert my expectations. That's right, just a couple of days ago, the official's trailer for Snow White passed the epic milestone of 1 million dislikes. And with a grand total of 40,000 upvotes, that gives it a ratio of 96% dislikes, becoming officially the most hated movie trailer in all of YouTube history.
It's actually, I'm not even mad. That's amazing.
I mean, they always said this movie was going to break records, and life has a funny way of delivering when you least expect it. Honestly, I'm actually just amazed that 40,000 people took a look at this and thought to themselves, yeah, this is definitely enriching the art of modern cinema. Can't wait to shell out a couple of $100 to see this with the family. Tell me, what aspect of this movie are you most excited about? Is it the nightmarish monstrosities in vaguely humanoid form that can't seem to decide if they want to be hyper-stylized, exaggerated cartoons, or photorealistic humans with dwarfism, and instead chose some unholy melding of the two that makes you question your decision to have functioning eyeballs? Is it the tediously predictable princess who saves herself trope that's been used and abused harder than Movie Bob's local buffet restaurant? Is it the least believable pairing in cinema history that sees this woman being jealous of this woman's theoretical beauty? Is it the film's star who somehow managed to fight her way to the very top to take the crown as the most insufferable actor in Hollywood, beating off some pretty stiff competition, I might add?
Yes.
Or is it perhaps the complete destruction of everything the original movie and the fairy tale it was based on was supposed to represent? So many decisions. You know, living in this little YouTube bubble like we do, it's easy to forget that a lot of what we talk about here doesn't really cross over into mainstream awareness. The Ray movies ditched its lead writer for like the 5th time? Who cares? General audiences won't even be aware of little dramas like that. Generic Hollywood celebrity number 4271 had a meltdown on social media about the Orange Man for like the 5th time this week. So what? Most people in the real world won't know or care about any of it. But Snow White seems to be a very different beast. It might just be one of those rare cases that makes the leap from lol-cow internet drama into the real world, with actual real world repercussions at the box office. I mean, if 1 million people took a look at that YouTube trailer and decided they hated it, imagine how many millions more are just gonna quietly ignore the film and never watch it. I'll be honest here, I don't think I've ever seen such antagonism towards a film in my life. Jesus, even The Marvels, arguably the most disastrous flop in MCU history, headed up by one of the most wildly unpopular characters in the entire franchise, still managed to scrape together a 54% positive rating on the trailer. Even Cleopatra,
bring that back. Oh my
positive rating on the
goodness.
trailer.
No, bring that back. How much
still
I said?
managed to scrape together a 54%.
54%. Let me see that. Y'all see that, man? Yo. They almost got more dislikes than likes. It's so close. It's like only like 23,000. If I got that math right, it's only 23,000 away. Oh my goodness, bro. My videos suck compared to a lot of other people, and I still never got that many dislikes before. Like, damn. I mean, there'd be a few times where I got like, you know, once or twice, I got like 3 dislikes, 0 likes on the video. I was like, damn, what did I do? I don't know. Damn, I just shared my opinion, you know, with whoever was watching, and I guess they got mad at it. I was like, damn, man. Hey, hold up. I don't want full screen no more. Just play it.
Positive rating on the trailer.
Damn.
Even Cleopatra, truly the worst of the worst, the ridiculous Netflix pseudo-documentary that asked us to ignore facts, verified historical records, and simple common sense in favor of massaging the ego of the show's executive producer.
I remember my grandmother saying to me, I don't care what they tell you in school, Cleopatra was black.
You don't know what you're talking about, do you?
Still managed to get away with a meager 93% dislike ratio.
Woo! Yo! Let me see that.
Still managed to...
We gotta zoom that one in. Hold
get
up.
away.
Take up the whole screen with that. Hold up. Y'all see that, man? 500,000 dislikes. I remember doing I did some videos about this when it first happened. Wow. One of the worst performing... Is that a movie, right? Or a show? One of the two. It's one of the worst performing ones. 537,000 dislikes. Damn. Wow. Man. My question is whether she's black, white, anything in between, beige, whatever. Why make it an argument, right? Besides, the lady had some very bad morals, according to what I heard about her. It said she was married to her brother, all kind of junk. I'm like, bruh, I wouldn't want to be associated with that. Said she was married to her brother. Said she got most of her family's taken out. I'm like, I don't want to be associated with that. That's ungodly. What the heck? You know what I'm saying? I ain't saying I'm better than her, but I wouldn't do that. That's evil. What I heard. Man, come on, man. Why just keep doing this? Play it.
With a meager 93% dislike ratio. Snow White really is a next level disaster for Disney, and honestly, short of scrapping the entire project and just taking the tax write-off, I can't even think of a way they could pull this one back and save face. They've already delayed the film by more than a year, probably praying that the controversies would die down while they desperately scramble to rewrite and reshoot it into something that doesn't make the audience want to gouge their own eyes out with a rusty spoon. They put Rachel Zegler on the apology tour to try and soften her public image, and she used every ounce of her acting ability to pretend that she really liked and respected the original movie, and that
look who she's being interviewed by.
She wasn't just an obnoxious, abrasive, self-absorbed arsehole. None of it worked. And so here we are, staring down the barrel of Snow White's release date, which is barely 7 weeks away. The board's been set, the pieces are in place, and it's about time to play the game. And something tells me it's not going to be an enjoyable one for Disney. It will be for us, though.
It's Hollywood, baby.
Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
That's bad, bro. I guarantee Wicked didn't even do that bad. They got a showing right there. How to tank your movie in one easy step. I wonder how many dislikes did that get, man. Now they got me looking them up back to back. Oh my goodness. All these movies are just weird, man. They're so weird. They're just ungodly to the fullest. Like, what the frick? What are they thinking with this stuff, man? Who the heck do they think is going to come and go and watch that? You serious? Let me see. So it came out in 2024, right? Okay. Oh, my bad. I should have said trailer. Trailer. Dislikes. No specific data on dislikes. Come on now. Don't lie like that. Damn. I was going to say I'll look it up. I can't look it up. They took the dislikes away. Maybe positive reception. Yeah, okay. Okay. I don't know. They probably did okay. I don't know. I don't think it's did as bad as this movie I just looked at. That Snow White. Oh my goodness. Why? I don't understand. Why would you do this to the movie? Why? Why would you? And then they got the other girl interviewing her. Her movie was a success because they didn't change much of it. The only thing they changed was like, you know, white character into a black character. But that's it. With this one, you change it from white to beige. Change the whole story up. What the frick? Like, I can't even feel bad for him though, man. I can't even feel bad for him. You need to take that loss. No, they made 60. Man, they made under 70 million in the U.S. and Canada. Those two different countries put together. I thought it was going to at least make 100 million, maybe 150 million. Oh man, that's bad, man. Oh my goodness, man. What the heck? That's what they get, though, man. That's what they get for trying to disrupt the order of things that the Lord set in place. But the Lord warned us that this would happen. He warned us. I could look up the verse right now. I quote it all the time. Genesis 3:16. He warned us, man. See, Google remembers. I looked it up before. You know, Genesis 3:16 states, to the woman, he said, I will greatly increase your pains in childbearing. With pain you will give birth to children. Your desire will be for your husband, which means to rule over him, in case you don't know what that means. And he will rule over you. See, in that movie, they try to do the opposite, and they think cats was going to be okay with that. That's what they thought. They thought cats was going to be okay with that. You know, even cats that don't even believe in the Lord wasn't okay with that. Because it's unnatural, man. It's unnatural. I'm not going to lie. A few nights ago, I thought to myself, I want to see it and see for myself if it's bad or not. I think I probably changed my mind, man. Great commentary by these guys. You know, the first channel I watch and this channel over here, the Critical Drinker, he did pretty good. Respect. Oh my goodness, that was a terrible dislike to like ratio, man. 1 million dislikes. Oh man. They got what they deserve, man. It's like that song say, you get what you give, don't let go. Something like that you be saying. You get what you give. She gave that negativity to the people, and the people gave it back to her. Yeah. They deflected it back at her. Or should I say reflected it? Right in her face. Like Puffy would say, take that. Never stop. Alright, we got Ephesians 4:31 right here. NLT. And it says, get rid of all bitterness, rage, anger, harsh words, and slander, as well as all types of behavior. All types of evil behavior. She didn't do that. She wanted to slander the first film. That wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad film. You know what I'm saying? It was a bit weird with the little gnomes and all of that, or whatever the heck you want to call them, the dwarfs. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't bad. It was innocent. She talking all that trash on it. And then she want to play the character? Why talk all that trash on the movie, then go and play the character? How you thought this was going to go? What you thought? I want to know what she thought. There's no way she thought that was going to be successful. People ain't playing, man. People getting tired of this stuff. Getting tired of y'all doing this ungodly stuff. Then we got Ephesians 4:29. Let no corrupting talk come out of your mouths, but only such as is good for building up. You know what I'm saying? Stop trying to tear down other people's work like this girl did. Don't do that. If you don't like it, keep it moving. As fits the occasion, that it may give grace to those who hear. I know some people, you know, they stop by the video just to leave a dislike. No comment, no anything. And then some people probably stop by just to leave a comment and say, this is trash. And kept it moving. Me, I don't want to do any of that. But to tell you that you reap what you sow. Like, what she really thought was going to happen? She thought it was a game out here, huh? Like, what was her problem? Like my man said in the other video, he said she went rogue. She went rogue and she paid for it. She paid dearly. Too bad. Too bad. Like, she should know better. Makes me wonder who raised her. How was she raised? Where was she raised? You know what I'm saying? Why would you? That's my first time hearing about something like that. Why would you diss the movie that you're trying to make a remake of? You're trying to diss it. Talking about it's dated and all of that. But don't play. Don't play in the film. That means it's not for you. If you ain't feeling the original one. You know, normally when people being like remake or something, they study the original one because they like it. They're inspired by it. Where did your inspiration come from? I have no idea. Like I said, they should have called that mug Snow White in the Hood. It would have made more sense. And people would have saw it for the joke that it is. That's what they would have saw it as. Because that's all it is. It's a freaking joke, man. What the heck? That's a joke. Shoot, if I was petty like that, I would have went and disliked it myself. While on this video. But I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that. That ain't right. I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna do that, baby. I ain't gonna do that. I could do it. It'd take a few seconds. But like I said, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do that, man. It's getting enough dislikes as it is. A bunch. I bet by now, as I'm speaking, probably got like 1.1 million right now. Probably ran up to 1.5 million. The numbers move fast. Move constantly. The more people find out about it, the more people gonna go dislike. Lord, please forgive me if people see my video and then they be like, you know what? This reminds me. You know what? This guy video sucks. But it reminds me of something. I forgot to dislike that Snow White trailer. Let me head over there right now. Well, we got John 3:36. I'll leave you with this. NLT. And anyone who believes in God's Son has eternal life. Anyone who doesn't obey the Son will never experience eternal life, but remains under God's angry judgment. That's it, man. You know what I'm saying? It's only two ways to choose. Narrow path, left side. No. The narrow path is the right side. The wide path is the left side. You know what I'm saying? It's simple as that. It's up to you what you want to do. Pray for this girl, man. Instead of ridiculing her, just pray for her. Because ridiculing anybody isn't good. Even though she kind of brought it on herself, but still. And yeah, man, may peace be upon you all and blessings from the Most High.